there, thank you for coming back. Here is a review of the Extreme Max Products winch mount. It goes into a receiver, whether it's in the front or the back of your vehicle. This one I got particularly for my Razor 570. I'm going to mount a 2,500 pound winch on it. It's actually really well made. I was examining it and looking it over. It has many holes in the bottom which make this quite universal, so it'll fit into most mounts, most readily available mounts. In the mount I have for this, or the winch I have for this, is a Badlands 2,500, and it has only 2 mounting holes in it, but they correspond to the 2 holes in the center of this mount, which is nice. It's interesting to look at the bottom of this because many of these holes are countersunk, so that a flange bolt such as this will fit into these really nicely and be flat, so there's nothing protruding or sticking out. I think that's actually quite nice. Now, not all the holes are countersunk, but most are. So this would be an ideal type of fastener, and this is a 10 millimeter hex drive with a 5 millimeter hex opening. Another thing that's really good about this mount is this flange, this flared bent portion here that has 2 mounting holes for the fair lead, and they happen to fit perfectly with the fair lead of this winch. So when we mount the winch, we'll then mount the fair lead to this and we'll be ready to go complete. I was pretty impressed with that. This is very heavy duty, really nice welds. You can see a really nice weld all the way around it. Very nicely painted too. It seems like it's an epoxy type paint, so I believe it'll be quite durable. It also comes with a nice mount or a nice bolt to hold it securely into your receiver. Let's mount this up. So we'll take those flared bolts and put those through the base of this, and then line that up with the corresponding holes in the winch. There's one, and we'll get the nuts. I use a flat washer, a spring washer, and a nut, so this won't come apart. Then once we're at this point, I can put a ratcheting wrench on it and tighten it with the hex drive. We're not going to fully tighten it until we get the other one on, because I want to be sure we line these up properly. The other bolt goes in the same way. Again, a flared hex drive bolt. Fits nicely into that opening. Zoom in just a bit. We'll put on the flat washer, the security washer, and the nut. Get those started. Then we can tighten those down with a ratcheting wrench. This one actually is holding tight, so I don't need to even use the hex drive on it. Okay, that's good. Now let's look at the other one. You can see it in here. This one I may have to use the hex drive because the cable's a bit in the way. Hold that in position. Let's see if I can tighten that a little bit more with the wrench. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay. Now, we're ready for the fair lead. So the fair lead opening matches with this more universal type opening. You'll notice that there are basically 2 holes drilled in this to allow for multiple fair leads to fit in, which I thought was quite nice. So we'll mount the bolt from the rear on each side. This one is taking the inner of the 2 holes, and then again a flat washer, a locking washer, and a nut will secure this. Do the same on the other side. Flat washer, locking washer, and a nut. This is a 13 millimeter hex nut with a 10 millimeter bolt. And that is tight. Do the same over here. Okay, so this is actually quite a nice product. Look at how that winch mounts in there beautifully, and the fair lead is very secure and very strong. So this can go in and out of any receiver, whether it's in the front or the back, and then take it out when you don't need it to store it. So I'm very impressed with this. It seems very well made. It's very strong, very heavy duty, very well put together. The universal holes work perfectly for the winch I'm putting on. And the painting, the welding, it all looks great. I'm very pleased with this product. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for your attention.